everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing May's TBR to be rolled. So this is a game that I use to pick my TBR. We have been doing it for, I think this is the 4th year now, and we did update some rules in January. If you're new to this game or just want to know the updated rules, I will leave those linked down below. But basically, we use this colorful die that we've had since Presley was like 1, and we roll it, and each different side is going to be a different way of picking my TBR. So red is like who else is going to pick a book for me. Orange this year is my 25 books to read in 2025. Yellow are prompts for age, genre, and format of book. Green are our challenge prompts. Blue is a poll pick where you guys vote on a book. And purple this year is vlog projects. So that is what we are going to be doing in just a second. However, I do want to review April's reading. The first roll was blue, which meant you guys got to vote on a book, but then we pulled a yellow and it ended up being an audiobook. You guys voted for Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This is a book that I started in February and I did finish it this month in April. Roll number 2 is red, which actually had Presley pick a book. He picked The Similars by Rebecca Hanover. I did not read this one. The next roll we had was orange, which is a book from my 25 books to read in 2025. We unwrapped Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I have not read this one. Since it is part of my 25 books to read in 2025, we are going to keep these ones, and I'll talk about what we're doing this month in a little bit. The next roll that we had was a yellow, which ended up picking a manga, and I picked Blood on the Tracks Volume 7. This I did read and actually returned to the library already. The next roll was another blue poll pick. We ended up picking a green, and then the prompt for that one was a 1-star review. So basically what I ended up picking was 3 different books that you guys only got to see the 1-star review. You voted on that, and the book that you actually picked was Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. I did read this one, and I did it as a vlog, so I'll leave that one linked down below as well. Then our next roll was orange, which was another 25 books to read in 2025. We unwrapped Air Awakens by Elise Kova. I did not read this one either, but again, we will be reading this sometime this year. The next roll was red, which meant a pet had to pick my book, and my cat picked The Eyes of the Dragon by Stephen King. I did not read this one. And then finally, the last roll was green, which was a letter generator. We ended up with the letter I, and so I ended up picking Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks. I did read this one. So ultimately, I ended up reading 4 out of 8, which is 50% of the books that we picked for this TBR, which is not necessarily the best. It was also the month of the magical readathon, and I had 4 prompts for that one that I ended up doubling up with the books that I was reading. And I'm very happy to say that even though I only finished half of the books off of my TBR, I did finish the Aurelium prompts. So one of the ones that I had to do was Alchemy, a book with all capitals in the book title. For this one, I actually ended up going with Skullduggery Pleasant. As you can see, the entire title is just capitals. The next one I had was Spells and Incantations, which was a word from your last book title in this book title. I did have to switch this one up a little bit because, as you could see, I didn't read The Eyes of the Dragon, which is what we picked in the TBR because it was based on the last book I had read before the TBR. However, during the month, I was reading Your Lie in April, which is a manga because it was also 30 and 30 manga challenge month. And so when I finished that series, the very next book that I picked up was Morbidly Yours, Your Lie in April, Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks, and I did read this one. Then I had Restoration, which was to read a book with a 4+ star average rating, like on Goodreads, and I actually did read the one that we talked about in the TBR game, which was Blood on the Tracks Volume 7. I had a lot of books actually that had over 4-star average rating, but this is the one that I talked about. This is the very first book I read in April, and so I completed that as well. So the last prompt that I had was Elemental Studies, which was to read a book with a fruit on the cover. This was one of the hardest prompts for me out of like everything that G created for this round of Aurelium. And so I did fudge this one a little bit because I don't have very many books with fruits on the cover. And I did not find myself with enough time to fit one in exactly, but because it was 30 and 30 manga challenge time, I ended up picking up Snow White with the Red Hair by Sarada Akiduki, and while there's no fruit here, there are apples on every single spine, and so I'm going with that because I needed to fit something in here. Yes, I fudged it a little bit, but I also read 2 of these in the month of April, and actually the third one the 1st of May. So I'm going with that one. So like I said, I did finish my Aurelium Academy readathon stuff. I think I actually went above and beyond with things in the month of April. Like I actually read 24 books. This includes manga and things as well. But so 4 of those 24 were from my TBR. And then I had 4 more books that were not on my TBR. I am doing something where I am saving $1 for every book that I read in the month, plus $1 for every book that I put on my TBR but did not read off my TBR. So I will be saving $28 this month, which is one of my highest months ever. I'm very happy about that fact. I do not know my total for the year right now because I don't remember what my total was from last time, but saving $28 for this month is amazing. Now we're going to be going into what I'm actually doing this month in May. One of my most recent videos that I just put out was a South Sound book crawl where I went to 11 bookstores in 4 days and attempted to buy 1 book per bookstore. So that would leave me with, at minimum, 11 books. I did buy a little bit more than that. If you want to see it, I will link it down below. But basically what this means for me is for the last 4 months, January, February, March, and April, I have bought an excessive amount of books. I think the only month I didn't have like an actual, like, this is the reason I'm buying books was like February. January was my birthday month and I had $200 left from last year, saving $1 per book read and $1 for every book I put on my TBR that I didn't read. March had Emerald City Comic Con and I got a ton of indie author books. And then April obviously had the book crawl. So I have a lot of books that I have hauled recently. One of my goals for this year is to actually read half of the books that I haul in, and I am nowhere near that. My stats are a little bit off right now because of the fact that I have a spreadsheet that includes ebooks, and I'm actually not counting ebooks in this sort of aspect of reading half the books I haul in because they feel a little bit different to me. But even including the ebooks, I'm at like 6% read. It'll be a little bit higher if I take those ebooks out, but I think that is unacceptable. So in May, I am only going to be reading and adding books to this TBR that are books that I bought in May. The only exception to this rule is ARCs, because I do have some things that I would like to read this month that are coming out in either May or June. But otherwise, the only things we're putting on this TBR are books that I bought this year, because I have too many of them. So what that ultimately means is if we roll an orange for the 25 books to read in 2025, I'm just gonna skip that. We're gonna roll again because I still have 2 books outstanding for those. But also I don't think I'm gonna focus on that this month. We'll just have to catch up on those later. And then for the purples, the vlogs, if that pops up, I have 1 vlog in mind already for this month, one that I just bought a book for. Besides that, I don't think I have anything planned. So if we roll a purple, 1 time, we're good to go. If we roll a purple again, I'll have Elliot re-roll because Elliot is here with me today. Presley's at school because we were out doing the book crawl, and so I was way too busy this weekend to film another video. So she's gonna be helping us out, rolling the ball, picking cards, potentially picking books. We'll see how that goes, but I'm only picking books I bought this year. I think that's it. Let's get started. And I forgot to mention, but we are going to be rolling my D12 die to actually determine how many rolls we're doing this month. So, 2. Okay, so my minimum is 5. 2 means that we take 5 and add 2 to it, so that actually equals 7 rolls today. Roll number 1. Throw it over this way. Oh, okay, that works. What color? Green. Okay, so roll number 1 is green. So we're gonna have green cards. The green cards are the ones that I'm always the most excited about because there's a bunch of different challenges in here. I've added some new ones for this year and we haven't gotten too many new ones. So Elliot's gonna come over here and help us.
See myself.
You see yourself? Are you excited? Okay, I shuffled a little bit, but I have no idea where anything is. I have no idea what she's gonna pick. Here's our green cards, what you're gonna pick from the bottom. Okay, what does it say?
Poo-poo.
Oh! Blindfolded. Poo? That's a B.
No, that poo-poo.
She's saying it's poo-poo. It's not. It says blindfolded. So what this means is I'm going to blindfold myself and pick a book. Now, because I need to pick something that I bought this year, I actually have this bin of books from the book crawl. I don't remember what order they are, so I'm gonna put the blindfold on and I'm gonna like reach down and just sort of find a book from that stack. Yeah, okay. Okay. First of all, I am blind without my glasses, so I am not gonna be able to see anything. Anyway, but okay, blindfolded. The bin is over here, and I saw the couple books that were on the top, so I'm not gonna pick from the top. I'm going to pick down more. I don't remember besides that what we have. So, okay, this one, based on the feel of the cover, I think I might know what it is, but mostly I went for one that didn't seem too big because we have to do 7 rolls today, and I don't want it to be a super bunch of books, like a ton of pages. So, okay, this actually is exactly what I was thinking. So while I do love the blindfold, I hope that comes up on a different TBR as well, so I can actually blindfold pick something off the entire shelves. But this is a book that I picked out during the book crawl, obviously, that I have never heard of before, but the neon green nature got me. This is Strange Pictures by Uketsu. This is translated fiction from Japan, and from my understanding, it's gonna be more horror-esque. Like, there's gonna be weird pictures, and I don't know, it says it's a mystery horror in which a series of seemingly innocent pictures draws you into a disturbing web of unsolved mysteries and shattered psyches. I'm excited.
Your turn, Mommy.
Oh, we're gonna take turns. Okay. Elliot says we're gonna take turns. Okay, roll number 2 is blue. Okay, roll number 2 is blue, which means it's gonna be a poll pick. So Elliot is gonna pick a blue card. This is gonna give us our category for us to pick from that you guys can vote on. So,
Muddy.
what?
Muddy.
Muddy? I don't know why you think you're reading these, but yellow. So now we're gonna pick a yellow card, okay?
Look. On back.
On the back. What letters are those?
T. Dada B. R.
T, Nana B, Riley R, because Nana's name is Barbara. So now we're gonna pick yellow cards.
You put.
Oh, you want me to pick a yellow card? Okay, she's very into sharing right now, as you guys probably saw with the fact that she made me roll number 2. So, okay, I shuffled, and I'm not looking. We're gonna pick, I guess this one. Okay, a physical book. That means pretty much anything that I've bought recently, because that is sort of the point of this video, right? Okay, so for this one, I picked things that I got from Emerald City Comic-Con, and you guys are gonna vote on them. So they're all physical books, obviously. The first one I have here is from the first author that I saw while I was there, and this one is Between Two Seas by Cerise Rennie Murphy. This is a very short story collection. I got one other thing by this author, but I did want to actually start with this because they are short stories, and I don't read them very often, but I do think it'll give you a good handle on the author's work. The next one that I have here is a lore stalker book. This is The Kraken of Cape Madre by J.P. Barnett. So this is supposed to be more of like maybe like a new adult type of one. I'm pretty sure the main characters are college aged, and I think they are 2 sisters that go and like find mythological creatures. And then the last one I have here is the first book in a series. This is The Finder of the Lucky Devil by Megan Mackey. It is the biggest one out of the 3 that we have here, but it is something that I'm curious about. This one should have some sort of romance in it. It says, when a charming and deadly corporate cyber spy shows up on the doorstep of Rune Laveau's bar, he wants only one thing: for the secretive finder of the Lucky Devil to use her magical talent to find a wanted criminal. This criminal is the key to something very special. She can lead him to a computer program rumored to do the impossible: cast magic spells. Yes, okay, I do remember the author also talking about how this has more like a sci-fi and fantasy feel. So those are going to be the 3 things that you guys have to choose from. I will have a poll up on Instagram right around the time this video goes live, or you can also leave a comment down below. But yeah, a physical book. Okay, Ellie wants me to do roll number 3, I guess. Ready?
Yeah!
Yellow! Okay, roll number 3 is actually yellow. Okay, Elliot decided it is my turn to pick yellow again. That's fine. So again, cards go at the end. Okay. Young adult. I don't do very much young adult nowadays, especially like even in my book crawl, I basically only got middle grade or adult books. So young adult. Okay, yeah, I did not have very many young adult books to pick from, which somehow made this harder in some way. I'm going with Not Your Sidekick by C.V. Lee. This is a book that I picked up during Emerald City Comic Con. It is going to be about superheroes and things like that. It is LGBTQ. It is young adult because our main character is going to be in high school, and that's the age group that we're going for. So, yeah.
You, Mommy.
I just did it. Your turn.
Your turn, Mommy.
Okay. Ready? Green! Okay, roll number 4 is green. Okay, Elliot apparently just wants to color. So we do have our green cards. I'm shuffling again. These are our challenges. I'm very excited to see what we have here. Okay, so just spreading them out, not looking. I am gonna go for the middle somewhere. Let's see, this one. A cover buy, a book I bought purely because of the cover. This I feel like should be pretty easy. Quite a few of these are probably mostly cover buys, or I saw the cover and then looked into it more and actually decided to get it. Something like this. Oh, this matches my shirt almost perfectly. Bound by Ravens by Jessica Sundin. This I did buy again at Emerald City Comic Con recently, and the cover got me. I had heard of this a little bit beforehand, but I had never seen this cover. And this is like, I guess maybe like the special edition sort of thing, because like it is gorgeous. It has sprayed edges. I think we have some, like art on the inside. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna be too long, 200 and something pages. I think this is definitely one to do. This is romance, fantasy romance, potentially. It does have 2 rival thieves, 1 fated heist gone wrong, and a curse that threatens to steal more than their freedom. Yeah, like I said, cover got me, but I am very, very interested. Roll number 5.
Purple!
Purple. Can you guys even see purple?
Yeah?
I think so. Okay, roll number 5 is purple, so we did get that purple in here for a vlog. And I can't even show you what this is exactly because it's a blind date with a book.
Mommy?
It is sci-fi, and I got this during the book crawl. I have no idea what it is. The front, I'll just show you the front. The unexpected whiplash that comes from going sideways. Like, okay. And yeah, I already knew I wanted to do a vlog on this, so I'm just gonna add this to the TBR. Roll number 6.
Mommy.
Red. Okay, roll number 6 is red. So red cards. Are you gonna pick a red card?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay, red cards is gonna be who picks a book for me. And again, Elliot does not want to pick for some reason. We are going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle and spread them out. Well, I know why she doesn't want to. They have like a little whiteboard and they have whiteboard markers, and she's just, that's not a whiteboard marker, baby girl. She's just having a good time drawing on the whiteboard. So, okay, red. I think I'm gonna go for the top this time. Oh, a pet pick. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some books and some cat treats, I guess, and then a cat, and we're going to have them pick a book for us. Okay, so before we get the kitty treats and the cat, I have picked 3 books. Again, all of them from the book crawl I just recently went on for some reason. Mostly because I wanted, I don't know, I was trying to pick a thing by a theme, and I didn't quite have enough like cozy fantasies. I didn't have quite enough mysteries. I don't know. So I went with books that were indie published or used to be indie published. So we have A Body in 3B by Erin Scott. This is gonna be a little bit more like a mystery type of thing. I think there might be some sort of romance in here. I don't know, but it also does talk about a ghostly best friend. Like, I'm curious about that. And then I also have A Dead and Stormy Night by Stephanie Holmes. This is going to be a Why Choose romance that is sort of paranormal in the fact that we actually have like the love interests being villains from books. Like, we are supposed to have, I think, like Heathcliff and Moriarty. And then the last one that I did pick is more of a cozy fantasy, A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by Jay Penner. This is the traditionally published cover now, but this was indie published for a long, long time, and I was always curious about it, and I actually really like this cover, but it's gonna be cozy fantasy with like a baking competition. So yeah, that's what we're gonna go for. Okay, I'm gonna go find kitty treats and a cat. Elliot wanted Pounce-A-Lot, who is the biggest, fattest cat. So, he's coming. Oh, maybe, which one? Oh, A Body in 3B, good job.
Good job. I got a book.
Yeah, he'll get the other ones too. Okay, so he picked A Body in 3B. This is one I actually saw the author, because she was doing a book signing at one of the indie bookstores during the book crawl, and I'm actually very excited. I have the ebook of this as well, because I have been interested in this, but also I just like the cover. I like the idea. I'm so happy that we're putting this one on the TBR. Roll number 7. Green. And then finally, roll number 7 is another green. So another challenge. Not gonna complain about this. Elliot's gonna pick our last card for the day. What's it gonna be? In the middle. Okay, there's 2. You gotta pick one. Give me one that you don't want.
Muddy.
Okay.
Muddy.
It says new author. Show up here. New author. Good job. Yeah, in the back. Good job. So actually, this is probably pretty good too. I do think a lot of the things that I've hauled recently are new to me. You know, I don't have any like plain romance in here. And I've also picked out a lot of things from Emerald City Comic Con and the book crawl, even though that's not everything that I've done. So I think I'm gonna go with a romance that I did not get from either of those 2 things by an author I have not read anything from before. Debating. So I have these 2 that I actually need to haul in for April. They both came in around the beginning of April. We have Just Our Luck by Denise Williams, which is going to be a fake dating with like a donut shop and a lottery ticket, and I need to know. And then we have Bridget Morrissey, Anywhere You Go, which is supposed to be like a mix between The Holiday and The Switch, with 2 women switching homes and, you know, sort of like their day-to-day lives type of things, and then potentially finding love that way. Like I said, I don't really have any romance, like actual pure romance on here. I'm gonna go with Just Our Luck. I'm a sucker for fake dating, and so I do think this one is going to hopefully fulfill everything that I want for a fake dating book. I also love this cover. Like, it's gorgeous. Okay, so I don't think I've had a month purely with physical books, but this doesn't look like too much, right? I think I actually did really well with stuff. So we have like a horror with pictures, which I'm very curious about, young adult superheroes, fantasy romance potentially, a sci-fi that I have no idea what it is, a mystery, which might have some other elements as well, and a fake dating romance. I think this is gonna be good. Obviously, I'm gonna be trying to fit in as much as possible this month that I've bought this year. So like, this is my TBR, but everything that I'm gonna be attempting to read this month is still gonna be things that I bought this year. That's why we put like the 25 books to read in 2025 on hold, that kind of thing. So not only is this what I'm reading, everything else besides maybe some arcs, everything else is also hopefully going to be things that I bought this year for the month of May. Okay, don't forget that there is one poll pick for you. I will have it up on my Instagram stories right around the same time this video goes live, or you can leave a comment down below. And that is going to be it from me today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye!